We're going to be getting blood, guts, carnage candy. It's going to be sick and twisted, and I can't wait. What's up, beautiful people? It's Nikki. Welcome back to my channel, King Nikki TV, where I give you commentary on popular movies and TV shows. In this video, I will be giving you a list of my most anticipated movies of 2023. If you haven't, make sure you check out my best and worst of 2022 playlist. Now, to start off the new year, let's get into a few upcoming movies that I am particularly excited to see. If there are any movies that you are looking forward to that I do not mention in this video, let's chat about it down below. Make sure you comment. Also, I will not be including the new movie Megan because as of recording this video, I have already seen it, and I will link a card to that review. In no particular order, number one, Fear, a horror movie. Guys, what else am I ever excited for besides horror movies? The light of my life. The synopsis: a much needed getaway and celebration turns into a nightmare due to a contagious airborne threat. Set to be released in theaters on January 29th. Starring my guy, Joseph Sikora, and many other familiar faces. Now, we have seen this type of story before where it seems that horror is playing on their fears. We see them around the campfire. What's your fear? We have seen a face your fear scenario. I mean, hell, we even saw it on Criminal Minds. But I don't think a movie has to particularly be an original idea in order to be good. Original is nice, obviously, but I don't mind seeing something that I have done before if it is executed in a way that is exciting, fun, maybe even breathes some kind of new life into the idea. Honestly, though, from the preview, I feel the movie looks a little generic. I'm not blown away by the overall cast. T.I., Terrence J, no disrespect to them brothers, but they just are not actors that I run to see in a movie. Does this movie look groundbreaking in any way? Do I expect this movie to come and redefine the horror genre? Come on now, child. It's rated R, not a terrible premise, so I'm hoping for an entertaining, gore-filled, fun horror with some good carnage candy. Number two, Evil Dead Rise, coming to theaters on April 21st. Evil Dead Rise is a new movie in the Evil Dead franchise, seemingly not related to the events of the 2013 Evil Dead. While I am a fan of this franchise, I personally prefer the 2013 Evil Dead just on the basis of how dark it was. Personally, I am not a big fan of comedy horror. The worst thing you can do for me is mix comedy with horror. Nothing can be scary or tense or anything like that if you add in like comedic elements for me personally. And Evil Dead does have this kind of goofy, slapstick, comedic tone that they meld in with the horror. I'm excited for how dark this Evil Dead Rise looks. The synopsis: a twisted tale of two estranged sisters whose reunion is cut short by the rise of flesh-possessing demons, thrusting them into a primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish version of family imaginable. In the words of my mama, I don't like when they be messing with kids. Man, why they threw kids into this child? I don't like it. We could throw in some, like young adult, older teen type, but not no kids, man. Why the hell we got kids in this? I don't like it. There is no way for me to include kids in a story like this where it will be satisfactory because, for one, I don't want to see no kids die. I want to see kids terrorized and scared. I don't want to see nothing happen to no kids that you meet. So if we go that route, for me, that's not entertaining or enjoyable. And if we go the opposite, where nothing happens to the kids and they get out unscathed, I'm gonna need it to be plausible. I'm gonna need it to kind of, make sense. It depends on how it's done, because a movie like Beast, for example, where you go in knowing that absolutely nothing will happen to the kids, it kind of sucks the tension and suspense out of certain scenes, because you just know nothing gonna happen to them kids. But I guess I will just brace myself for a speak no evil type of experience. But man, look, can we just leave the kids and the dogs out of these stories? I watch adults die all day. Chop them niggas up. But leave the kids and the dogs out of it. And in particular, out of a story like Evil Dead, come on, Chop, cause Evil Dead be, they get a little sick. They get a little twisted. I do hope they have some tricks up their sleeves for this movie, because we do get a lot in the preview. So hopefully there are some reveals and some really epic scenes and kills that they left out of the trailer. We're going to be getting blood, guts, carnage candy. It's going to be sick and twisted, and I can't wait. Number 3, AntMan and the Wasp: Quantumania? Is that how you say that? Coming to theaters on February 17th. Scott Lang and Hope, along with Hank and Jen, I don't know who them folks is, explore the quantum realm where they interact with strange creatures and embark on an adventure that goes beyond the limits of what they thought was possible. Now, if you are familiar with me on my channel anyway, you know that I am not a superhero movie fan. It's not that I dislike it. It's just not my cup of tea. They aren't movies that I run to see. I'm not a fan of Marvel or any of that stuff. I saw Black Adam last year, and that was my first time ever watching a DC movie. And though I have recently tried to check out the Marvel movies, I have never seen the Ant-Man movies in my life. I did see him in when they all came together, but y'all, that preview look good. This preview looks freaking amazing. And they have my guy, Jonathan Majors, in this one. The premise is feels a little predictable. I mean, messing with mess you have no idea about and shouldn't even be messing with in the first place. Come on now, child. This movie looks epic. It looks like action-packed, good story, but baby, really, the draw for me is Jonathan Majors. That's why y'all gonna get my money for the ticket. Number 4, The Exorcist, a sequel to the 1973 film of the same name about a young girl who is possessed by a demonic entity, causing her mother to the mama ain't have to seek the help of 2 priests. Now, I am not the biggest fan of the Exorcist movie. I know horror fans. I like it just fine. It's a good movie, but I have never been one of those people that rave about that movie. And I have a sordid relationship with Blumhouse, but I did love the Exorcist series. And like I said, I like the movie. And per usual, I will just always look forward to a horror movie, because it's a horror movie. Set to be released on October 13th, which is Friday the 13th. YouTube family, if you didn't know, in my family, Friday the 13th is a holiday. And we have a Friday the 13th coming up, actually. We do not have a trailer for this yet, but honestly, I would love for them to keep the trailer as vague as possible. Now, while not the biggest Exorcist fan, I am a huge fan of possession horror. And I get and even agree with the critiques that a lot of folks have when it comes to the possession, demonic horror subgenre. There really isn't much in the horror genre that genuinely creeps me out. Like, I love horror, but it's not nothing really creeps me out as much as demon possession, because that stuff for me, I feel a little real. I do. Like, I ain't playing with that stuff. So that's why I really love that subgenre. I'm obsessed because it feels realistic for me and it will genuinely creep me out. We have director David Gordon Green attached to this project, whose most recent work that I'm personally familiar with was the Halloween trilogy. So we will see what he is able to do with this. Number 5. Cocaine Bear, set to be released on February 24th, inspired by true events. An oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converge in a Georgia forest where a 500-pound bear, are bears really that big, goes on a murderous rampage after unintentionally ingesting cocaine. That just sounds crazy to me. This looks so freaking stupid and ridiculous and outrageous and insane. I'm intrigued. And it stars one of my favorite actors of all time, Ray Liotta, as well as Kerry Russell. Felicity was my teen obsession. We have O'Shea Jackson, who is Ice Cube's son, my guy from Game of Thrones, and many other familiar faces. Cocaine Bear is directed by Elizabeth Banks, which I thought was really interesting. I had no clue baby even directs. I like her just fine as an actress, but I have never seen anything that she has directed. So I guess we'll see how this turns out when they put the story in her hands. Well, they've already put the story in her hands, but when we see it, I'm going to assume that we had to just wait it out and just let the bear come down from his high. They better not kill the dang bear. That's all I know. I might have to Google these events before I see the movie. I'm typically a huge stickler when it comes to spoilers before I see movies. I don't want to know nothing about nothing, know nothing. But the one thing I always have to do is Google if the animal dies before I watch a movie, because I just gotta brace myself. Number 6, they clone Tyrone with my mother freaking husband, the love of my life, the most beautiful man ever sculpted, John Boyega. Oh yeah, and we got Jamie Foxx, Kiefer Sutherland, and David Allen Greer. I'm really excited for this cast. A series of eerie events thrust an unlikely trio onto the trail of a nefarious government conspiracy. Coming to Netflix sometime this year. I could not find a exact release date. They Clone Tyrone feels very 70s blaxploitation, 70s black action movie, very Undercover Brother if you're familiar with that Eddie Griffin movie. If not, you should definitely check it out. This movie looks like absolute style and fun. I don't need to see nothing else. I don't need to know nothing. I just, child, sign me up. Number 7, John Wick Chapter 4, coming to theaters March 24th. John Wick uncovers a path to defeating the High Table, but before he can earn his freedom, John Wick must face off against new enemies with powerful alliances across the globe and forces that turn old friends into foes. Of course he got to face off with like 111 million thousand different folks. This franchise hasn't made a bad film yet. Keanu Reeves is kicking ass and doing what he does best. We have some returning faces as well as some new ones with Bill Skarsgård and the Asian guy that I love, but y'all, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I gotta do something about this. I love that guy. I really love him. But I feel like we know exactly what to expect from a John Wick movie, and I'm pretty confident they will deliver. Number 8, The Offering. A demon possession horror mixed with like Rosemary's Baby. Set to be released on January 13th, Friday the 13th. A family struggling with loss finds themselves at the mercy of an ancient demon trying to destroy them from the inside. Now, while I will admit this looks like a pretty by the numbers this looks like a pretty by the numbers horror. I'm still excited. Like I said earlier, demon, evil, possession, horror, baby, sign me up. And I have high hopes for my horror movies. Like no matter what, I'm gonna always be holding on to hope. I hope they got some tricks up their sleeves. I hope we get something really dark and different. And That's how hope works. Plus, it comes out on Friday the 13th, so that will be fun. Number 9, The Devil Conspiracy, another horror. Look, y'all know my taste. Set for January 13th, a cult steals the Shroud of Turin for wicked purposes. Now, I know it goes, that around January is typically the time when the worst horror of the year gets released, but that's not a hard and fast rule, and there's always hope. Look, if it's horror 9 times out of 10, I'm just gonna watch it. Like, I don't have to see a preview. I don't even need to know a synopsis. Tell me it's horror and baby, I'm just gonna watch it. The devil, evil, the church, rated R, cult, blood, guns, fighting. Preview look good to me. And look, the preview do make the movie seem a little cheesy. That music killed me. But y'all, it looks like this could really be fun. I mean, the movie's tagline is "The War of Angels has come to Earth." Come on now, man. Tell me that don't sound fun. Is it just me? Number 10, Plane, which feels like that B-movie action that I love. Set to be released in theaters on January 13th, a pilot finds himself caught up in a war zone after he is forced to land his commercial aircraft. I'm here for the B-movie action and Mike Coulter. I am not a fan of Gerard Butler, like at all, period, point blank. I feel like he picks the absolute worst movies to play and I don't care. He does. But I'm here for this because if there is one thing that I love just under horror, is action. Particularly cheesy B-movie action. Are we going to get some cheesy one-liners? I sure hope so. Number 11, The Killer is an action crime thriller set to release sometime in 2023 on Netflix. An assassin begins to psychologically crack as he develops a conscience, even as his clients continue to demand his skills. Now, we have Michael Fassbender. We have Tilda Swinton. 2 actors who I always enjoy anytime I see them. We also have David Fincher, who will be directing this. He did Gone Girl, the 2011 Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. He did Panic Room 7, just to name a few of my faves. Oh, and side note, I recently learned that Denzel passed on the role in 7 that ended up going to Brad Pitt. And that movie will never be the same for me ever again. Like, I just learned that, and it just kind of messes the movie up for me. I am obsessed with that movie, but I'm sorry, Brad Pitt isn't the greatest actor. For me, I have never understood the Brad Pitt hype, and God, I wish we got the 7 with Denzel. But anyway, this is action thriller mystery, iconic director, grade A cast. I don't need to see no kind of preview, nothing. Just drop it, and I'm signing up. Number 12, JungE is how I think that is pronounced. An action sci-fi drama on an uninhabitable 22nd century Earth. The outcome of a civil war hinges on cloning the brain of an elite soldier to create a robot mercenary. Y'all know that I done been getting motherfreaking obsessed with Korean movies. A few Korean movies made my best of 2022 list. I am here for whatever movie the Koreans is putting together, child. The preview is freaking amazing. This looks like it is going to be some freaking badass action, and y'all know them Koreans are masters at some melodramatic, tearjerker, depressive ass scenes. So get your tissues ready. Number 13. This might be the one I'm kind of looking forward to the most. Mission Impossible 7, arguably the best franchise of all times, because this franchise literally gets better with time. I feel like this is what Fast and the Furious franchise wants to be. I am obsessed with the Mission Impossible movies. The last one was 2018's Fallout, which was amazing. The 7th movie in this franchise, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, will be coming as a Part 1 and Part 2. I'm calling it now. Mission Impossible 7 is going to be freaking epic. And I feel like it's going to be my number 1 favorite movie of 2023. I don't need a trailer. I don't need no synopsis. It's Mission Impossible, child. I'm there. I'm there. Tell me you know how to make a movie without telling me you know how to make a movie, and these folks know how to make a movie, and I don't need to know nothing about nothing. It's Mission Impossible. Look. Whatever they doing, I'm signing up. Now, last but not least, the final movie of 2023 that I am looking forward to, number 14, Sick. Due to the pandemic, a group of friends decide to quarantine at a family lake house. Slasher horror written by D. Kevin Williamson, the guy, my guy, who gave us Scream, Curse, that don't get enough respect. Teaching Mrs. Tingle, The Faculty, Say No More, I'm sold. Sick is another Friday the 13th release. I am so excited for Friday the 13th this year. Like, we getting some good-ish. Now, I am excited for these movies, and make sure you are subscribed and have your bell notification on so you can join the conversation as we discuss the good, the bad, the ugly, the disappointing, and generally just have fun talking movies and TV this year. And while you're here, make sure you check out my Best of 2022 playlist if you haven't. As always, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Make sure you like this video, share this video, comment down below. Let me know what you think about the upcoming movie Spirit this year. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.